What's up, YouTube? My name is Ty, financial advisor. Welcome to my channel. Please like the video, please subscribe, and catch me every weekday after market close on the Smarter Gambling Show. So here is EVFM, Evofem Biosciences. This finishes at $1.07 today. That is up 187.71%. So the stock is definitely short squeezing here, and it really came out of nowhere. Never heard of it, but it did make top 10 on StockTwits today. Had over 3,500 mentions, so it is worth analyzing today. So there wasn't any company-specific news to justify this price action. However, there was the general news of Roe v. Wade being overturned last week, which really had an effect on the stock today. So let's check that out. So it says the company manufactures the contraceptive Phexxi. So it seems like the market is assuming, since you're no longer going to be able to get abortions in certain states, more people are going to buy contraceptives instead. So a few companies in the biotech space who make contraceptives are mooning today, and this is one of them. But yeah, let's jump right in. Let's go ahead and analyze here. So first of all, this is a cup and handle in the making. Bottom of the cup being the low of 3 cents, and there can be multiple possible tops. It can be 240, 350, 455, 555, 620, or 805, and longer term this is part of an even bigger cup and handle where the top can be 83, 103, 108, or even the high of 112. But those are all bullish indicators. That is telling us that the stock should come back up to one of those tops to complete the cup. And in the aftermarket here, this is running up to 115. So if this aftermarket action holds, that would be a bullish indicator for tomorrow. That is suggesting that tomorrow, this stock will continue to run to the upside. So we have a triple gap down. First gap down back at 970. So that is a bullish indicator. That is telling us that the stock should come back up to 970 to fill that gap. Second gap down is back at 225, so another bullish indicator. That is telling us that the stock should come back up to 225 to fill that gap. And third gap down is at 150, so another bullish indicator. That is telling us that the stock should come back up to 150 to fill that gap. And we did have another gap down at $1, but that did get filled today. And then we have a gap up at 50 cents created today, so that is a bearish indicator. That is telling us that the stock should come back down to 50 cents to fill that gap. And here we do have a descending triangle forming. Right now, this looks like it's consolidating between 125 and 3 cents. So there's a bit more consolidation to go, but this should consolidate somewhere around 65 cents. And then according to this descending triangle, it should break out to the downside. So the descending triangle is a bearish indicator. And if you guys want to follow along, the link to the chart is in the description down below. So right now this is trading between the sideways channel, the rectangle of 115 and $1. So if this goes to the upside, next levels of resistance would be 115, 135, 240, 260, 275, 285, $3, 320, 330, 350, 360, 385, 405, 425, 440, 455, and then 510. There is resistance above 510, but we're not going to discuss that right now. And if this goes to the downside, next levels of support would be $1, 50 cents, 40 cents, 35 cents, and then the low of 28 cents. So right now at the current price, 107, the channels to the upside and the downside are very wide, so expect significant price action either way this goes. However, if/when this breaks 240 to the upside, the channel starts to narrow, so expect a significant decrease in price action if/when this breaks 240. And then to the downside, if/when this breaks 50 cents, the channel starts to narrow. So expect a significant decrease in price action if/when this breaks 50 cents to the downside. RSI is currently at 66, so not quite overbought and overvalued, but quickly approaching that, pretty much there. And this did 490 million in volume today, biggest volume day of the year, way above the average of 2 million. So this pump/squeeze today was confirmed by the volume. Okay guys, just my opinion, not financial advice. It's just pretty funny to me how Roe v. Wade being overturned caused a whole wave of investors to come in and start buying contraceptive stocks. But here we are, and yeah, this is definitely short squeezing, and looks like it's not done just yet. A lot of retail momentum, ape strong here. So in the short term, it's a little difficult to tell which way this is going to go, because we do have an equal amount of bullish and bearish indicators. Again, we have bullish indicators in the cup and handle, triple gap down, and aftermarket action, and we have bearish indicators in the gap up, descending triangle, and high RSI. So hard to tell where it's going to go in the short term, but longer term it does look pretty bullish. So I think in the short term, this has a bit more upside to go. Looks like it's not done squeezing just yet. A lot of aftermarket action, strong momentum, but as with every short squeeze, it's going to have to come crashing down. Just a matter of when, not if. So therefore, if you want to go long, not financial advice. Personally, I would not do that, and I would not recommend that. Not saying it won't keep going up, but I think you missed a lot of upside already, almost 190% today. And while this still appears like it has more upside potential, you really can't expect too much more. I think going long here would be FOMO at this point. So the current price of 107 is really not a good entry. And again, there is a gap down at 50 cents. So this should come back down to 50 cents. And I think that would be a much better entry than the current price 107. And once again, this should eventually come back up to 970 to fill the gap there. So from the current price 107 down to 50 cents where the gap is, that would be over a 50% downside. But from the current price 107 up to 970 where the other gap is, that would be over an 800% upside. So going along at the current price would be a high risk, very high reward play. It's worth a shot if you're willing to hold this for the longer term, but too much risk involved for my liking. So personally, I would hold off and try to get this back at 50 cents where the gap is. And from 50 cents up to 970, that would be over an 1850% upside. So I would say going long at 50 cents would be a low risk, very high reward play, and I think that would be an excellent entry. So I don't like the current entry of 107, but I can't support going long at 50 cents and lower, and if it pulls back, then you can just average down at the supports that I mentioned before. Now, if you want to go short now financial advice, I would not do that, and I would not recommend that, just yet at least. I think at the current price, 107, that's already a pretty good entry on the short side. But again, it appears like the squeeze is not over just yet. Looks like there's a bit more upside to go. So 107, not a bad entry on the short side. But if you're a little patient here, give it maybe a couple of days, you should be able to get a much better entry. And again, from the current price 107 down to 50 cents, that's already over a 50% downside. And you should be able to make even more. So at least 50% downside potential here. You can probably do better than that though. So I would say going short at the current price, 107 would be a high risk, high reward play. Again, because it appears like the squeeze is not done just yet, so there may be some more upside pressure. But I think if you're able to short this down at the top in the next few days, wherever that may be, this would then become a low risk, high reward play. So pretty straightforward, guys. It seems like the overturning of Roe v. Wade has the market speculating about contraceptive pills. This stock is short squeezing right now. A lot of retail momentum. A little difficult to tell where this is going to go in the short term, but it looks like the squeeze is not done just yet. So it appears like there's a bit more upside to go before this comes crashing down. And long term, it does look pretty bullish. So if you want to go long, you missed a lot of upside already. I don't think it's the greatest idea at this point, but there is still more upside potential to go. So high risk, high reward. If you guys want to gamble, please do that at your own risk. And if you are able to get this back at 50 cents, that is a huge amount of upside potential in the longer term. And if you want to go short, it already is a pretty good entry. But like I said, this is still in the middle of a short squeeze and should keep going to the upside in the next few days. So if you hold off here, give it a little bit of time, you should be able to enter at a much better entry. Not sure how high it's going to go, but you want to try to short this down at the top, and there is a lot of money to be made here on the downside. I would cover at 50 cents where the gap is, and that should be some really, really fat tendies. So there are opportunities to make money on both sides here. Bulls make money, bears make money, pigs get slaughtered. So congratulations to everyone who made money in the stock today. Consider taking profits if you're up, not financial advice. And good luck to everyone currently in the stock and to everyone looking to take a position. This is EVFM, Evofem Biosciences. Thanks everyone for watching today. I appreciate you guys. Please like the video. Please subscribe and catch me every weekday after market close on the Smarter Gambling Show. You apes already know, diamond hands to the moon. I'm Ty. This is Smarter Gambling. See you guys tomorrow. Peace out.